Welcome to another episode of Talking Sassy About Abuse, Amplifying Women's Voices, the podcast that busts open the door to conversations about abuse, domestic violence, and toxic relationships. We're here to offer hope, insights, and a path to healing for those seeking a way out and a brighter future. Join your host, Sassy Christine, author, motivational sassy coach, creator of 7 Steps to Sassy Masterclass, and Sassy Academy founder. Through real stories of triumph, expert insights, and the power of community, we'll explore the 3 stages of abuse, unravel the complexities of toxic relationships, and share the tools, techniques, and strategies needed to break free and heal. If you're ready to rewrite your story after and beyond abuse, you've found the right place. Let's embark on this transformative journey together and become sassy once again. Strong, assertive, smart, sexy, independent.
Okay, welcome to Talking Sassy About Abuse, Amplifying Women's Voices. It is Sunday, and I apologize. I do and I don't. For those of you that follow me, I know I should have done this on Friday, but everything happens for a reason, and we're going to get there. So welcome to Talking Sassy About Abuse. We have got a blustery, windy, couple of white clouds in the sky. Sassy Studio, here we are. A couple of white clouds in the sky. The sun is shining right in my eyes. I was wondering if I needed my sunglasses. My makeshift shade, as you can see, is blowing in the wind, but that's okay. What an interesting week. What a very interesting week. So, kind of to recap, November was mental health, and we had an absolutely wonderful guest, Carrie Lewis, our coach for addictions. Her and I had an absolutely wonderful conversation. Check that out. December, we are talking about healing, which brings me to so the name of the episode, which I don't even have posted anywhere, but I kind of came up with it because this guy, Archangel Gabriel, and that's part of the reason I didn't record on Friday, is I wasn't ready. But this episode will be, I don't know, may change a little bit till once I get inside and edit, but I'm thinking along the lines of what healing looks like for a woman of abuse, because it is not all roses and rainbows and unicorns. That is the farthest from the truth. And it's not an overnight healing. But the whole month of December, I've got stuff planned and ready to go. We do have more guests coming on for December. Yay! I'm excited about that. Finally got my shit together somewhat. Healing and what that looks like. And I was thinking that when we heal, the full-blown word of healing and what it looks like and the whole group of healing, there's a lot of little parts in there. And in my coaching, one of the things, and of course the Sassy Academy, we really get into going back in the past and where did all this start? Why did it start? Why do we have repeating patterns that we end up, for most of us, I know for me, I did. Why did I end up in two marriages that were definitely abusive? The relationships have always been abusive in some way, shape, or form. And I talked about, I think the second or third episode was the 5 types of abuses, which is physical, mental, verbal, sexual, and psychological. Those are your main 5 types of abuses. Here comes that wind, that Middle Tennessee wind from the 2 mountains. So healing is not an overnight thing. And I have an absolutely wonderful guest. She turned out to be a really good friend. The 3rd week of December, her and I get together. We're going to really delve into how hard healing is. But I wanted to give, excuse me, I wanted to give you a little bit of a positive side of healing. Some of the things that I've learned through my healing process, because it's not overnight. It's not, last week we talked about the roller coaster ride as a pair compared to the straight ride, that the roller coaster ride actually has more momentum. We just don't know that we're healing faster because of the ups and downs. And I was reminded of that on Friday. So here's what happened and why I couldn't record on Friday. And I had every intention. I thought I knew what I was going to talk about, which is so different than what I'm actually talking about. So here's what happened on Friday. So Friday, I met two absolutely beautiful women, from the inside out beautiful. One of them, and I don't want to say their names because I didn't get permission yet, but one of them, her husband of 12 years, actually committed her to a psych ward 3 times because of his narcissistic tendencies, behavior, everything else about him. Okay. Because of his problems and his issues, she was the brunt of it. Now, she said she didn't suffer a whole lot of physical abuse. It was very much the verbal, the mental, the psychological, um, which, I talked about this, is so much more damaging than the physical. The physical wounds heal. Okay. The scar above my eye here, getting knocked against a concrete countertop, 7, 9 stitches, I forget what it was. That heals. Okay. But the psychological that goes along with it took a long time for me to heal. It is not an easy process. But what I've learned through my healing and through my coaching and through talking to other women is that to be able to heal completely and to reach stage 3, and stage 3 is UFA, which is unfuckwithable, um, you have to do a lot of learning. And I don't think we talk about that enough as coaches. There are lessons, and I don't mean like school lessons, and I don't mean like teaching a child that the stove is hot kind of lesson, but there are lessons in life that, as a woman of abuse, we need to learn. Okay, those past lessons, what brought us to and through all those bad relationships, the toxic relationships, how our parents treated us, the things that we've had gone through and endured as children. Okay, we call it Gen X, but a lot of it was could be classified as abuse, plain and simple. We didn't know better back then. But so in speaking with this woman and hearing her story, she she's in stage 2. Okay, and she's kind of in that in between stage 2. She still somewhat believes a little bit that maybe she's crazy. Um, she had been through shock therapy each time she was committed to the psych ward. So she believes that she may be damaged from that. Now, in speaking with this woman, I could clearly see how intelligent she is, how beautiful she is on the inside, how much she has to offer the world. Her gift, not only is she a hairdresser, but she does some absolutely beautiful crafts, sells them. That's how she survives. That's how she makes her money. That's how she makes her living. But we learn these lessons going through life, and we learn that we've had to go through those to get where we are. So, as a woman of abuse, and me personally, I have learned so many lessons about myself. I have learned I have learned how to really surrender. And that's one of the first steps in the 7 steps to sassy, which is an all-inclusive excuse me, all-inclusive in the Sassy Academy. We go through every single one of those 7 steps. And the first one is to surrender. So and I know we said we'll get into that, and we will get into it, I promise. But it which brings me to the second lady that I met, because when you fully surrender, and it it was ugly without a doubt. When I finally broke down and I'm screaming and yelling at a God I didn't believe in back then, okay? And then when I progressed through my healing and learning, um not only was I yelling at God, but my goddess, my spirits, these two guys, okay? Um it's a complete immersion into my psyche, a complete understanding that I can't control anything for me. Okay. A lot of people will ask me why I don't do this or why I don't do that, or why I did this, why I did that. Why did you choose this path over something different? Why why are you living with your daughter? Why can't you get out? If I had fought, and that's what I found, that every time I fought surrendering and listening to my guides and listening to the path that I'm supposed to be on, every time I fought that, it was twice as hard. It was like in quicksand. Okay. The more I fought falling in quicksand, the more I fell. But as soon as I surrendered that and let go of that and said, hey, you guys are in control, you got the reins, I am just sitting back and enjoying the ride, which is again why I said I wasn't here on Friday, because there was that part of my intuition, and I call it my sassy, part of my sassy that said, don't go out there. There's more important things. Meeting these two women on Friday was way more important. Not that you guys aren't important. Please don't misunderstand. And this podcast is extremely important to me. And it's not that they're more important than you, but the relationship that we established and the conversation that ensued between both these women, um, it was such a learning experience for me. Now, the second woman I met, and I'll give you some examples of the learning. So the second woman I met, turns out she will end up being a very, very dear friend. I really hope to someday have her on here. I really do. But she is going through a hard time, and I'm trying to explain to her the 7 steps and the surrender. And she's kind of like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 1 step on the good step to get you going up the staircase to the right direction, and 1 foot still stuck in the quicksand. She knows that she needs to take that step, but is it fear? Is it, and it is. And that's kind of my point. Um, because she's dealing with a really bad situation. Both her parents and her brother, she has an alcoholic brother that threatens violence all the time. That is psychological abuse. Okay. Both her parents verbally abuse her. And this woman's my age. She's mid, early to mid 50s. But that fear of what may be on the other side is holding her back. And that not surrendering to her chosen path is holding her back. And if we can, and it's so hard, I get it. I was there. I absolutely experienced it. I wanted to control, that there's that saying out there that the only person you can control is yourself. I get that. Okay. And yeah, I mean, there are certain things that we do to control ourselves, and we techniques that we learn to, deep breaths when we're upset, angry, walk away from a situation, say, hey, I need 5 minutes, I need 10 minutes, I need 15 minutes. Let me digest all this. Let me get through the process before we can have a conversation. Whether it's in a relationship, your boss, your coworkers, whatever it is. So it's real easy to just kind of hang on to that little bit of control. But I can tell you from experience that when I finally released and did a total surrender and basically said, you know what, it was along the lines of a I give up, but not that I give up on life. It was I give up on trying to control what I can't. I give up on trying to direct my path because they're a lot stronger than I am. um, and is starting to see that. She's starting to understand that all these signs are being put in front of her so that she doesn't have to do it the hard way, so that she can do it the easy way. And it's like I said, I know it's hard and we can ignore it. Okay. Perfect example is um crows. Okay. That she's constantly seeing crows. Now, where we live, yeah, crows are around, and we can get into spirit animals and things like that. But certain songs, okay, if you happen to hear the same song repeating numbers, we all know about repeating numbers. If you're seeing repeating numbers, those are signs. Those are your angels. If you see something in front of you as you're taking a walk in the woods, or if you see the same bird or the same type of bird or a butterfly, a hummingbird, that was another thing that she had seen consistently. Those are her angels and her guides and the universe telling her, I'm gently trying to remind you that this is the path you need to go on. And it's my job, because of my gifts and where I'm at, and being the coach that I am, to say, here's your sign. um, and to say, listen, I can see that the light is there. I can tell you from experience that it's not easy, but I can tell you also from experience that it is so worth it. And I guess my point being is that if if you have that nudge, that inkling, your intuition, the hair standing up on the back of your head, the hair standing up on your arms, whatever the case may be, if something is there telling you, reminding you, those constantly seeing certain numbers, constantly seeing a grasshopper that you wouldn't normally see, okay, or bees, or birds. It could be an eagle, a hawk, a big bird, a heron. It could be the same stray cat that you see on your walk. It could be the same music playing that you hear, elevator music, things like that. Listen to it. Okay. Those are your angels, and that's the universe trying to grab your attention and say, listen, the the path you're on right now, that's not your chosen path. Quit fighting it. And I'm here to nudge you and help you get back on the right path, because it is so worth it. It is liberating. It is life altering. So many things have happened to me when I did that total surrender. Okay. I mean, like, it was a full blown day of crying and doing meditation and going inward and having conversations So I think I told you guys I'm clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, claircognizant. So having those conversations with my angels and my spirit team the whole day, okay? I mean, like the writing that I did that day was incredible, okay? But it was beautiful. It was magical. It was empowering to, when it was all said and done, to go, holy shit. Holy shit, Jesus. Holy shit. Okay. Because what happened then is all these realizations, all these maybes became realities. They became truths. Um, they became very clear on what my path is supposed to be. It became very evident on what I'm supposed to do and where I'm supposed to go. And as much as, so here's that healing and learning, the learning part of healing. So sometimes, okay, so when I realized all that, there was a huge weight lifted off my shoulders, huge weight lifted. I went, oh shit, I don't have to worry about that anymore. I don't have to worry about that anymore. I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about that. Okay. And it's not always money. Um, I mean, it was everything from where I'm gonna live, how I'm gonna live, how I'm gonna, provide for my animals at the time. Um, but then those little what we think are down, and it's our perception of what that down part is, or if depending on how you look at the glass, if it's half full or half empty. If you're going up and it's hard going up that hill, and it's a struggle going up that hill, and you wonder if you're going to ever make it to the top, we have those days. And I firmly believe that those are the moments when our, I'm going to say faith, but not in a particular religion. So that's when our faith is truly tested. And I think that the angels said to me, this is, what I see, and through all the women that I coach. Um, so the angels are saying, okay, Christine, we can't keep giving you all the good unless you experience. Okay, so if I did not experience, here's an example. If I did not experience all the ups and downs that have happened, even in the last year, okay, the last year alone, I I I lost my condo in December of 2022. Okay, they wouldn't renew my lease. And very quickly I had to sell all my furniture that I had just bought the year before. Okay. I sold all my furniture. I kind of went to family and friends and said, "Hey, I need a place to stay." Okay. Because I only had like 2 weeks notice. Um, I went to family and said, I need help. Specifically my father, who could have very easily, said, not a problem. Let me help you. Let me make sure you have a roof over your head, that your animals are taken care of. His last words to me were, let me think about it and I'll call you back. That was a year ago. Am I waiting for that phone call? No. No, 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 no. So I had to find a place to live. I had already rehomed my dog and my two cats. They stayed with my daughter. She took them in. I was so grateful for that. But I still needed a place to go, and I still needed a place to put my furniture, what little I had left. Okay. And basically, it was one day bed and my clothes and toiletries. That's it. Everything else I sold. So I had some money. I had a little bit, but I still needed to eat. And I went on Craigslist and I found an exchange for, cooking, cleaning, taking care of things for free rent. It was great. That's when just before I moved in, December a year ago, the South here went through a major polar freeze, pipes froze, water burst. So the place that I was supposed to move into, a pipe froze and bust. So there was no running water, no heat, which meant no toilets, no dishes to be, clean dishes, no shower. But I had a roof over my head, and I was grateful for that. I didn't have to sleep in my truck. But there were moments that I definitely went, really, guys? Really? And when I thought it couldn't get any worse, the rats took over the house. And when I say rats, I mean full blown, huge, fat rats. Okay. Imagine waking up in the middle of the night feeling nibble, 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 nibble to a mouse nibbling on your hair. Okay. Not fun. One night I woke up to a rat jumping on the bed. I jumped up, scared him, and he jumped off the bed. It got so bad that I had to sleep with the lights on if I could sleep because they only came out at night. The person that I was staying with really couldn't give a shit because he was never home. He was able to go to a friend's house or his grandmother's house to be able to shower. I was pretty much there by myself with the rats. So it got to a point where I went, okay, you guys, what are you doing? Why am I living with rats? What experience, what could I possibly learn from this experience? And that's part of the lesson that we learn when we go through healing is that everything in our path, everything that we encounter, and I've said it this way many times that we could either be bitter or better, but every one of those challenges, I try and learn something from it. I try to learn, what are you trying to teach me? What are you trying to I wouldn't be able to tell this story and let you know where I was at if it didn't happen, right? So, long story short, I said to my daughter, she was about to give birth to my one and only grandson so far. And she called me the day she was in the hospital and she said, Mom, I think we could use some help. Maybe you can come stay with us for a couple of days. That was 9.5 months ago. There's a reason I'm here. Now, remember, I told you in the beginning that I sold all of my furniture except my daybed. And I'm actually, there was a point that I actually said to my friend that I said, there's a reason this daybed did not sell. There's an absolute reason this daybed did not sell. I don't know what it is yet because that was a year ago. Had no clue, no idea where I was going. Presumed since all the other furniture went, it's a nice daybed. It's a beautiful piece. But I knew that the angels were, and my guides and everything else were looking out for me. They knew what was going to happen. So fast forward from last year, December, January to around February is when my daughter called and said, Mom, we could use some help. So those couple of days turned into, this is why I needed my daybed. I now sleep on my daybed because there was no other place to sleep. And I wasn't going to sleep at my age. I'm not sleeping on the floor. I'd probably sleep in my truck before I slept on the floor. So everything happens for a reason, and it's how we look at it, how we learn from all those things, all those rats and trust me, when I say it was like highway in this house, okay, of these rats going from a pantry to underneath the foundation because it was like a double wide that sat on a foundation on a hill. The basement sort of was underneath. So where did they nest? Underneath furniture that wasn't used. Um, so everything that I have gone through, including the abuse, okay, I had to go through it for a reason. To be able to speak loud, to be able to share my experience, tell my story, to let women know that are in stage one, okay, still in the thick of it. Um, as my, my one of my two friends, her parents are still very abusive. Oh, she has a cousin that her husband died. He's in the military. He died just shy of being able to collect. So she stays with her parents. What do you think the parents do? They are verbally and physically abusive to this girl, their own daughter. And when I hear these stories, man, I get so pissed. But I know that there's a reason I'm hearing them. There's a reason so that I could share with you, so that I can say, there is a better way. Here's how I got out. Here's what I did. Here are the tools, techniques, the strategies that I learned in my years of trying to heal, so that you don't have to go through that long, so that you can get through the healing part to get to the learning part of the whole group of healing. And I don't know what else to call it. So if you're that woman and you're in that position and you don't know what to do, there's a way. Okay. And I know, trust me, I know. I've gotten, if you're in stage one and you're still in an abusive situation, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten and heard from other women, well, I don't know why you just don't leave. Well, because you've never been in that situation. That's why you're asking. You have never been a woman of abuse. That's why you're asking. Because it is not easy to be able to just leave. Now, one of my goals in my lifetime, this lifetime, because there's more lives, is to change that, is to be able to, hence my Etsy shop, hence the support on here, okay, is to be able to provide for that woman that is still stuck in an abusive situation because she thinks she has no way out, no family. Okay. I can't tell you how many times I've heard my own parents have said to me, well, you made your bed, you got to lie in it. Bullshit. Bullshit. So I know that woman that is out there listening thinks that there is no way out. There is. And I'm working hard to get, and I'm not the only one. I'm working hard to change that. We need to speak loud. We need to speak up about this. We need to say enough enough. I know it is not easy. I get it. I get it. More than you realize. I get it. I know. I've been there. I hear the stories from my clients, from my friends that tell me after, we've been friends for months, they finally say, "Can I talk to you about this?" Yes, talk to me, tell me. I know if you're in that situation, this is what I want to change, because I realize the only person we can change is ourselves. And that's not entirely true. We just talked about that. But if you're seeing the signs and your higher power, whatever that is telling you and showing you the signs, and it could be this podcast, it could be that you're seeing this for the first time going, wow, this woman really does understand. Maybe that's your sign. Pick up the phone and call me. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. Or if you're seeing repeating numbers, repeating songs, repeating themes, the same sign, no matter which way you go to work. Okay. I mean, they're there. Okay. Coins on the ground, birds in the trees, butterflies. They're there. Those signs are there. Your angels are reaching out to you. Your spirit team is reaching out to you. I know this because every client and every person that I talk to has told me in their own way that they're there, that those signs are there, that they're seeing the repeating things. And remember, We could either go through life straight on the correct path, on the easy path, the path we know, or we can face fear, get to the end a lot sooner, and not the end of life, but the end of where we need to be, which is a new beginning. Okay. And get there. Or we could stay where we're at and be stuck, give up. And I don't mean suicide, okay? Because that is not an option. Been there, done that. That's a previous episode. Or we can say, fuck fear, fuck what's on the other side. Let me take this leap of faith. Let me do this for me. Let me do this for my children. Let me go in blindly. Okay. We kind of did that with our relationship, didn't we? We kind of went in blind. I hate to be Mrs. Obvious here, okay? Because if our eyes were really open, and when we look back on the relationship and the dating part, okay, all those signs were there. How this was not the relationship for us to be in, they were there. So take that leap of faith. Just have 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 that faith to say, there's got to be a better way. That's what I did. Okay. What the day after I got shot in the head, I went, okay, this isn't working. This isn't working. There's got to be a better way. There's got to be a way out. And it took me how many years? Till 3 years till I had enough of those signs hitting me in the head. Okay. Going, okay, Christine, when are you going to have enough near death experiences for you to finally listen to us? When are you going to, we put you in the hospital in and out for almost a year. We did all this damage to your body to get you sober. When are you going to listen? And it took me a while. And that's one of the things that I want to help you with. That's one of the things that I'm trying to accomplish with this podcast is to let you know that you're not alone. That's the biggest thing. And I will say that till my dying breath. You are not alone. Okay. There is somebody here that understands. There is somebody here that will listen. So take a deep breath. Take another one. Listen to your intuition. Listen to your sassy. She's in there. She's burning. It's just smoldering and kindling, but she wants to be set on fire. She wants to be released. That sassy wants to be fanned and glow the inside out. Take a leap of faith. You got this. You're not alone. Healing is a beautiful thing. It's ugly, but it's beautiful. And we talked about that. I mean, it's ugly. Get downright ugly, crying. I went through so many contacts, okay, because of the crying that I did and the writing and facing that fear and not facing the fear, but more so going, you know what? I'm done. I'm done fighting this. I'm done trying it my way because my way isn't working. So what have I got to lose? Okay, guys, and that's pretty much what I said. I said, okay, guys, I'm done fighting. And once I did that, and it wasn't overnight, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I will never lie to you. It wasn't overnight. It still happens, okay? But I'm not only coming out of the healing part, but coming into the learning and the growing and and sort of thriving. Okay. That's one of my words. Sort of thrivers. Okay. Because that's what we are. When we finally get to unfuckwithable, we're sort of thrivers. We took all that shit. We talked about this. We took all that shit and we molded it and played with it enough that it's a beautiful, for me it's a lotus. It's the lotus flower. That's what that's what my one of my flowers are. Okay, that's one of my spiritual things. But you can whatever, but yeah, that's what we do. It's a beautiful thing, and I want every woman of abuse, every woman that has been abused. Okay, I know, and we need to go over woman of abuse because that's my thing. But if you've been in any type of abusive relationship, whether it's a spouse, a friend, a coworker, parents, man, parents, what the fuck? Okay. We got to change that. We got to fix that. We can't keep being abusive psychologically and verbally to our children, even adult children. We got to, somebody's got to break the cycle somewhere. And it can be done by learning, by being educated on what happens and how to. Okay, and we haven't even gotten into that yet. Okay, all the different things of the how. How are we supposed to have a conversation with our young ones? Okay, how are we supposed to ask the right questions when, if and when we ever start dating again? Okay, that I mean, there's a ton of information that I have got that they gave me to be able to share. I need you to listen. I need you to subscribe. I need you to review. I need you to share. Because you remember, that really sucky statistic, 1 in 3 women, 1 in 4 men. We can change that. We can fix that. We can do it together. Okay. One person at a time. What's my time? I don't 47 minutes, I think 47. So that's about it. So I just wanted to let you know that it healing. That's, remember, December is healing, but healing is also learning. And through, I'm going to say it, through my coaching and through my Sassy Academy program, man, to get through this stuff. Oh, it's going to hurt. It's going to dig deep. We're going to go hard. But when you come out on the other side, unfuckwithable. You are a totally different person. You'll know how to set boundaries and keep boundaries. You'll know to follow your intuition. You'll discover your gifts. I mean, they could be like me, being clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, claircognizant, or just being a beautiful person in the world and sharing your beautiful smile, the smile from the inside out. Being able to go into a relationship and go, nope, you're not it. Thanks, but no thanks. Or I'll give this a try. All those things that you're going to discover about yourself and learn about yourself will make you such a better person that you will be able to say, I am a woman of abuse. It doesn't define me. It doesn't make me who I am, but it does make me better. It makes me stronger, makes me assertive, smart, sexy as fuck, and independent. And that's a great thing because for so long we didn't have that. It got buried, it got squashed, it got submerged. But now you have the opportunity to heal from all that and all the previous shit we went through from the day we were born till today. So say fuck fear, take that first step, whatever it is, It's one step. That's all you got to do. One step. See how it feels? See what you think? You know my saying. I love you guys. Please reach out. All the links are there. Scroll through, whatever, however you're seeing this, but all the links are always there. I always post. I'm on Buzzsprout now, and you can listen through every channel possible, all over. But all the links are there. Schedule a one-on-one with me, a free one. We'll talk. We'll have a conversation. We'll see where you're at. Ask me more information about the Sassy Academy, because that's going to be starting January 8th. I've got a few spots open left, open. Dyslexic, sorry. Let's have a conversation. Let's see where you're at. See if I can offer some strategies and tips to get you out of where you're at. We'll talk. We'll see what we can do. My goal is to help every woman, however she needs it. Okay. It's not an overnight thing. I told you I will never lie and never sugarcoat. It is not an overnight thing. But, that spiral staircase going up, got to take that first step. Can't get to the top of the mountain till you take that first step. Can't get, through the roller coaster till you take the first step to get on that car. And see what could be great. Yeah, we'll get some downs, hard ups. But man, when you get there, it's a beautiful thing. So get in touch. Send me a review. Ask me any questions. Subscribe. Share, because we never know who needs it. And I will be on time next week. I promise. I love you guys. Till then, stay sassy.
Thank you for tuning in to another empowering episode of Talking Sassy About Abuse, Amplifying Women's Voices. We sincerely hope that the stories and insights shared here have resonated with you, providing encouragement and strength as you navigate your own journey towards healing and empowerment. Always remember, you are not alone on this path. Your voice matters, and so does your story. We encourage you to connect with us on social media, where you can share your thoughts, experiences, and insights. Let's create a supportive community where we can uplift and stand by one another. We are here to be your voice, to stand with you until you find yours. Together, we will continue to amplify women's voices, fostering a world of resilience, courage, and unity. So, until we meet again on the next episode, take care and remember, you've got the strength to overcome anything life throws your way. Keep being sassy, and keep spreading your light.